Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be shedding light on how to be successful during the Great Resignation. So what measures do you need to take in order to become successful amid the Great Resignation? Well, first and foremost, you need to hone in on growing behemoth brands and creating income-generating assets so that you can get all your revenue streams on autopilot. The only way to get out of poverty is to have your cash inflows offset your cash outflows, and this can be achieved by having your recurring revenue streams offset your recurring expenses. There's no other way. You do not want to trade your sacrosanct, indispensable, finite, precious, and valuable time for a pittance of fiat currency. You want to safeguard your time. You do not want to needlessly, imprudently, gormlessly relinquish it. So, what are income-generating assets? Well, you should compete in niche user-generated content markets. You should also compete in niche product categories. You have autonomy to produce videos, archive live stream broadcasts, songs, podcast episodes, audiobooks, custom-made print-on-demand merchandise, customizable templates, software applications, online courses, and of course, mobile games. So there are a multitude of disparate ways in which you can earn revenue without your revenue streams being tethered to your time. When you produce content, you want to be able to produce engagement-worthy, viral-worthy, share-worthy, like-worthy, algorithm recommendation-worthy content for your social media channels that is apt to not only organically rank high in social media platforms, but that is also apt to yield high watch times, high audience retention rates, and high viewership rates. You should utilize your social media channels as marketing vehicles to market your products. You want your products to ideally become viral products. So compete in niche product categories if you choose to produce digital products, and leverage your behemoth brands to drive customer traffic to your product pages. You also have autonomy to invest in leveraging pay-per-click marketing campaigns, as well as social media marketing, influencer activities, which can allow you to drive additional traffic to your product pages. You want to be able to produce worthwhile, meritorious, stellar products, and you want your content to also be deemed worthwhile as well. At the end of the day, in spite of how meritorious, in spite of how worthwhile, in spite of how stellar your products and content may be, you're not guaranteed a penny, because your target market will determine whether or not your products are worthy of procuring and whether or not your content is worthy of being consumed. So your success is predicated upon whether or not your target market consumes your content and whether or not your target market procures your products. So do everything in your purview to appease your target market. Render your content all the more discoverable by optimizing the metadata associated with the content. You can utilize germane search terms that are the most search terms in your content category. And you could also leverage your brand ambassadors so that they can disseminate your content to their friends, family members, and networks. You could simply just request in a humble manner for them to share your content with their friends, family members, and networks. The more discoverability your content has, the more apt it will be to build traction and hopefully become viral content in the pending future. But that is cumbersome to achieve, even if you compete in niche user-generated content markets in which full-time competitors are vying for market share in these hyper-competitive markets. So being successful during the Great Resignation is about recalibrating your life, reconfiguring your life, getting your revenue streams on autopilot, producing viral content as well as viral products. It's about changing the dynamics of how you work so that your revenue is not capped, so that you're not unfeathered, but rather have unlimited earnings potential and can generate extreme wealth if your content becomes viral content and if your products become viral products. It's not just about creating worthwhile, meritorious content and products. It's also about efficaciously marketing your content and products, diversifying your revenue streams so that you do not only have one source of income. And it's about working more prudently, more efficiently, so that you do not have to spend the entirety of your life working long hours at a dead-end, dispiriting, harrowing, minimum wage, agonizing, brutally wretched job just to be able to put food in your mouth and afford to temporarily rent a room. There's no saving grace in working a dead-end job that does not provide a subsistence wage, and when you sell your sacrosanct, indispensable time for a pittance of fiat currency, when you can no longer sustain doing that job due to becoming furloughed, laid off, or the company become defunct, then your income drops to zero, and then the food that you were temporarily able to afford can no longer be afforded by you because you lost your income stream. And they're just not, these jobs do not even pay a livable wage if you work a real private sector job based on voluntary demand. So on that basis, there's no future if you work a job for an employer. So it just doesn't make any sense to invest so much time and energy and effort into a job when there's no payoff, and when they deem 2 hours of your time to be commensurate to 1 second of the CEO's time based on the pay grade between the CEO and the system manager. They deem the CEO's time to be worth at least 743,000% more than the assistant manager. And over the course of 104,000 work hours, or 50 years, or half a century, if you were to work full-time for at least 2,080 hours per year at a company, you would still gross less revenue than the CEO grosses in under 15 hours, so they'll never pay you a livable wage. And they're reticent about doing so, so you should divest in doing something that is not conducive to allowing you to be able to live a prosperous, fulfilling, auspicious, abundant life. I hope that you deem this video to be enthralling and insightful. Have a blissful day. Goodbye.